is Andrea from Joe & Sons Olive Oils, and many of you know my mother, Marilyn. So today we decided we were going to put together a little kind of treat for you all for Cinco de Mayo. Some of the restaurants are opening up and some of you may partake over there, but if not, if you're still spending it at home, we're going to give you a fun recipe that you can make there at your home. My mother is here helping me today.
Actually, I'm just eye candy. I don't contribute much, but she needed ambiance. Okay.
So we're going to make a crispy cilantro lime chicken along with some cilantro lime rice. The rice is actually kind of a copycat recipe from Chipotle's lime cilantro rice. So if you've ever had that, this is the copycat version. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So first things first, Mom, you want to start? Let's grab that measuring cup. All right, so we're going to we've got our key lime white balsamic. And we're going to go ahead and put a 1/4 cup in there. It's about 1/4 cup there. And then we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of the blood orange olive oil. That's good. All right, so we're going to add some cumin. Now while I'm doing this, do you mind seasoning the chicken with some salt and pepper?
Not at all.
Okay. There's the pepper and there's the salt. There you go. I've got some cumin. Now, this is optional, but you can add some red pepper flakes. The recipe calls for about a teaspoon. You can add as little or as much as you want, or none at all. And plenty of garlic. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there.
And a little pepper.
And finally, some fresh cilantro. And we're going to be using some more cilantro later on, so we'll do that. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and whisk this up.
Let me get the phone.
No, and the phone's ringing. This is what happens in quarantine. Okay. So I'm just going to mix it all up together, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and add all of this to a Ziploc bag. You can do a Tupperware container, whatever you'd like. And all right. And we're just going to go ahead and add the marinade to it.
Slight interruption, but I'm back. Gosh, that smells good.
Okay, we're going to seal it up. Would you go ahead and do that? Get all the air out. There you go.
Sometimes you need to use the chest.
And then just kind of give it a little massage. So make sure that it's equally dispersed around all the chicken. We're going to go ahead and pop this in the refrigerator. And you want to marinate it for at least 15 minutes, but you could certainly do it longer. So by the magic of television, of course, we already have some here that has been marinating for a while. So we're going to go ahead and use this for our cooking demo. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up our grill, or our pan here. And you want to use the type of pan that has a metal handle, not a plastic one, because we're going to go ahead and just sear the chicken and then finish it off in the oven to complete the cooking process. So you want something that can withstand the oven. If you don't have something like that, you can certainly do this in a plain old frying pan and then transfer it to some sort of baking dish and just finish it off in the oven. But it's just a little more cleanup, I guess. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil here. This is the blood orange olive oil. So we're going to make sure that our pan doesn't stick. All right. Do you want to go ahead and add it in there?
No, you go ahead and do
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'm going to watch. This is the first time I'm making this.
Okay. So we were supposed to be having some cooking demonstrations for Cinco de Mayo at our store, but unfortunately with obviously the current situation of the COVID-19, we're not able to do that. So hopefully this will help you all out. Got some nice sizzle there.
Now, is there any reason why you're using thighs rather than breast?
So thighs are much juicier. You could certainly use a breast, but this is just a juicier piece of meat, but absolutely you can do that. Now I'm going to hang on to this marinade because we're going to add it at the end here. So We just want this to get, we're gonna brown both sides. So I've got this on kind of a medium-high heat.
Now listen, that smells good, and this is from somebody who does not like cilantro. It's winning me over.
We're gonna make a believer out of her. Now while this is browning, we can talk a little bit about the next thing that we're gonna make. We're gonna be making the cilantro lime rice, which is a really nice accompaniment to this. Also, another thing that you can serve this with is, and this is actually my mother's recipe, is the black bean and corn salad. And we'll be posting that recipe. We already have another little video of that. But anyways, my mom makes the best rice in the world. And I can't really replicate how good she makes her rice. So she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does differently than maybe the instructions on the actual package of rice, because it is really good.
Well, normally when you get instructions for boiling and steaming rice, it will suggest 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. I don't do that. I do 1 cup of rice to 1 3/4 cups of water. The reason I do that is, and I cook it for 31 minutes covered. The reason I do that is I like all the grains to be separate, tender, and fluffy. I also use long grain rice. I was surprised the other day. I was talking with a friend who commented that sometimes her rice comes out sticky and gummy, and other times it comes out nice and with separate grains. And in the conversation, I realized she wasn't being very selective when she bought her rice. And sometimes, if the short grain was on sale, she'd buy that as opposed to the long grain. And I was explaining to her, if you want the individual, tender, separate grains of rice, stick to long grain. Short grain rice is wonderful if you want an Asian dish where you want it kind of gooey and gummy and sticky. Also, it's good for arroz con leche, which is a rice pudding. And those are really the only 2 times I use the short grain rice.
So you mentioned, I'm sorry, I was paying attention to this. Did you mention the proportions of water?
Yes,
okay.
water.
So a little less water, so it's a little more al dente.
Yeah.
So.
If you add the 2 cups of water, you will get rice grains that will tend to stick to each other more so than the way I prepare it. But that's a personal taste. However, my grandkids, my kids, my husband, they all swear by my proportions.
It's good. All right. So I left my tongs there. Okay, they're a little too hot for me to hit. Let me grab another set. So we're just going to go ahead, like I said, we're just browning both sides to get a little nice color. So I don't know if you can see there on the camera, but I'm starting to get some nice caramelization there. So we're just going to flip that over and brown the other side. There we go. All right.
Oh, that is something good.
That is nice. Turn that down just a hair. Okay. So then the next part of this, because of the, I guess the setup we've got here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off in the oven. So you're not going to be able to see that part. But it does definitely need to complete the cooking process. You're going to cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until your meat thermometer reads, I believe chicken is 165. So you just want to make sure that it reads. I'll have to make sure to check that and make sure that I'm correct on that. So, but then the next thing you want to do at the end, once you pull it out of the oven, you want to go, actually, I'm sorry. Before you stick it in the oven, you want to add all of this remaining marinade, because it'll continue to cook in there.
I'll take that there.
Yep. There we go. So once you remove it from the oven, all you need to do is, if you want, just to garnish it with some slices of lime.
When do you put the cilantro?
And then we're going to add some fresh cilantro on top for the garnish. So plus it gives a really nice fresh flavor. So there you have it. So we've got
that a lot.
Our very own Cinco de Mayo cilantro lime chicken, as you can see there. And we'll serve it alongside the rice. So let's just go ahead and put that together. Why don't you grab that bowl right there?
Do you want me to move out all these seasonings out or leave them?
Fine right there. We'll just get this out of the way. Okay.
Now let me go get a serving spoon for the rice.
We can start grabbing this. So as she mentioned, she did this, in her process. Go ahead. Or you want to?
No, go ahead.
This is super easy. So just some plain white rice, and however you make it. I mean, if you're not comfortable making steaming rice and you use instant rice, or you even get the boil in the bag, all that's fine, but steaming rice is quite easy. So we just do that, and
you can see how each of the grains is separate.
All right, so then while the rice is still hot, you want to add in your fresh cilantro. What that does is it's going to bring out the flavor of the cilantro, the warmth of the rice, bring out those little bits of oil. And we've got our, wrong oil here. So what we're going to actually be using is the Persian lime olive oil for this. Earlier we used the key lime white balsamic. So just a little drizzle of the Persian lime olive oil. You want to give it a mix?
Sure.
And at this point, then you can taste it and season it with salt and pepper, as you please. So, with that, did you have any questions that I didn't answer that maybe somebody out there watching would need to know?
Well, not really I guess kind of a question. If somebody doesn't quite have the vinegars and oils that you're talking about in this recipe, even though it gives it a slightly different taste, are there any other substitutions in the families of the olive oils and vinegars that we've got that they could?
So for the chicken, they could use the lime olive oil with the grapefruit balsamic. That would be a good substitution. Yeah. You could even do,
How about lemon and lemon?
It wouldn't give you that same, it would certainly give you a nice citrus chicken, but that really lemon with cumin is more of a Moroccan flavor.
Okay.
So it would just change it up a bit, but it wouldn't be bad. We actually have a recipe on our website that does have some lemon and cumin and things like that. It is a Moroccan chicken with some olives and things like that as well. Well, I hope everybody enjoys their Cinco de Mayo and that everyone is staying safe and healthy. We're sort of breaking social distancing rules today. We couldn't go any longer being away from each other. So we really appreciate it, and thank you. Just to let you know, Joe & Sons Olive Oils will be open, or we're continuing to stay open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and we are closed on Sundays. As soon as things start to open up more, we might adjust those hours back to our normal 7 days a week and opening, and closing much later. So thank you again. Thank you to my mom for being here and helping me out.
My pleasure.
And thank you to Gianna, my daughter, who's the camera woman.
And thank you to everybody who has supported us loyally through these difficult times. It's made a big difference. Thank you.